This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in riding high. Just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and 3rd overall pick.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in.
I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
It's real easy to express how much you love about Julio Jones' game because when you watch him perform, you see a little bit of everything. You see speed, you see strength, you see the power with the run after catch. But what you don't see is the work he puts in during the week, and you also don't see this. A #1 receiver, one of the best in the league, that doesn't act like a diva.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. We run through the starters now defensively for Carolina. They've certainly had their struggles against the run. At the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem? When they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here we go.
A give. This is Chubb. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Being chased out left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Buying time to his left. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Ryan. This is brought in by Hardy. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Get up!
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs.
Ready! Back 25!
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
The guilty party, Chance Warmack, the guard out of Alabama.
Still 3rd down.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. Throw left side complete. That's Hardy. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And that'll be incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Ready!
Ryan. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A run for Nick Chubb. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
This time, Ryan will throw. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw on 3rd down. Ryan in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And the defense has got it in their end zone, and that strip may have just saved this ball game for him. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a two-score swing that you just gave up.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They run again on first down, Chubb. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Garoppolo to throw on second down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder, halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Hey, let's go.
On second down, Ryan. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hardy. Touchdown, Falcons. Justin Hardy, his second touchdown on the season, and the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now onto the field, here come the Panthers. Now they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Snap comes at 1. Garoppolo. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Going to air it out deep for Gronkowski. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. This will be from 56 yards out. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10.
11.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got it with the 15. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start at Raymond James Stadium, an NFC South matchup between New Orleans and Tampa Bay. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Raiders. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Garoppolo now. He's going to let it go again. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Drops it off for Chubb. And it's a fumble. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now Ryan on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And all that worked, but he's... stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
I met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now it's Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play action pass, you see the end result. Usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he's probably wondering, how do I get that mojo back from the first half that he seems to have lost a little bit here in the third quarter?
And every guy has his whisperer on the team. You know, that one guy who can say things to him that other people can't. Right now, he's looking for that guy to kind of, hey, we're good. We're good. 1 interception. Just get it back. Get back to being who you are. And this team will be okay.
Yeah, because they led at halftime, trailing now. Keeps himself upright. Flushed out, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Matt Ryan in the offense heading back onto the field. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here, you're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a 1-possession lead, looking to expand that now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them doing on offense right now. And they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Freeman again. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Garoppolo. Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Jackson with a grab over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a second.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he has Carew. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A 20th carry now for Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
3rd and long, it's Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Hardy. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Operating from the gun, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun, Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Leonte Carew, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have broken our tie. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
For the score. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
One of the most exciting plays in football, a kickoff return for a touchdown. And in all the excitement, let's not lose sight of the fact that now the pressure shifts to that snapper, holder, and kicker. This extra point is really important.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. This is brought in by Hardy. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
There we go.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Get up!
On second down, here's Ryan. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. He's got his man. This is Jackson. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the ground, it's Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Panthers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
11.
To throw is Garoppolo. And this is caught. It's called in by Gronkowski. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They run. Chubb.
Holding offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Following the penalty, Chubb. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They run it again with Chubb. Room here to run. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. And the kick is good. Graham Gano connects as time expires. And the Panthers have won the football game. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Carolina, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire